finances, Paladino was able to convince an elderly couple to liquidate their retirement savings and trust him with it. Paladino and his partner Ernest "Buzzy" Nassif are also making the rounds, assuring investors that all is well. Close family members and friends make up the majority of Paladino's investors, holds on to hope that Paladino can be trusted.
Came to the home of my uncle and aunt, and I was in attendance. And he reassured us, your investments are protected. We believed it because we wanted to believe it. Many of
To stop a thief.
Keep spending money like it didn't happen. He's living the high life. Now the investors are calling and saying, "You gotta do something. He's spending the rest of our money."
In 2012, Stephen Paladino stands accused of orchestrating the biggest white-collar fraud in Boston in 100 years. It's but the latest crime in Paladino's long career of theft and larceny, and has had enough. He dusts off an old New England statute dating back to 1804 and charges Paladino with being a common and notorious thief.
In the early 19th century, when they enacted the statute of common and notorious thief back in 1804. If there ever was a person who can be best described as a common and notorious thief, it's Stephen Paladino.
He is subsequently charged with 3 counts of fraud. After turning himself in, Paladino makes $250,000 bail back at law enforcement by suing them.
It is an exception.
According to my knowledge, has been paid to date. No one has lost a dime.
Enforcement. He's so embarrassed he fell for Paladino's scheme, he asked us not to show his identity.
We were still getting paid our interest. We were still being told, this is nothing, it'll go away. It's just an investigation on income tax issues. But when he was arrested and the charges were made public, and then the questions started flying, then we realized we were probably in trouble.
His extravagant lifestyle. But once he stops making interest payments to investors like Dr. Ron Nassif, they finally understand Paladino's true nature.
only income at the time. And to see him driving around in his Mercedes with his girlfriend, going to jewelry stores and things, it was outrageous.
Who files a civil case.
So we sued Mr. Paladino and Viking, the company that he sort of ran, so that investors can try to get at least some of the money back that has been taken from the fraud.
In short order,
Were in his name, put them in his wife's name, and then got large loans that they used to fund their lifestyle.
Viking victims are forced to stand by and watch as Stephen Paladino not only steals their hard-earned money, but spends it in front of them, who is immediately intrigued by the story.
We got a call from one of the victims who said, "You've got to check this guy out because he's charged with a crime, yet he's going around Boston and basically acting like nothing's wrong." And so we said, all right, we're going to look at this. We ended up following him around and saw him driving in the luxury vehicles.
Here he is toweling off his Mercedes, but that's
Spending their money.
Paladino is being monitored by a court-required ankle bracelet when Bodette decides to confront him.
Met with Fox 25. All right, good. How you doing? We want to talk to you about Viking Financial.
I would love to talk to you, but unfortunately I can't make any comments.
Your investors are out millions of dollars. What happened?
As I said, I'd love to talk to you, but I can't.
Where's the money? You seem to be living a pretty lavish lifestyle.
This guy is living, and all these people are giving him their money. And then to see it all disappear, it just had all the ingredients of classic American greed.
$55,000 spent at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, $25,000 on a Bahamas vacation.
Watching, waiting, concerned that Paladino may try to take the money and run.
I thought he was going to try to take off eventually. He just was spending money. It was unflappable.
Up, and detectives pounce.
We pulled him